Welcome to BNS About Movies. This is Sam, and it's Canon Month, so here's a special episode on a few Canon films. So let's go with the first one, which is 1987's Over the Top.
What are the odds on Lincoln Hawk's pitch?
20 to 1, pal. With a long shot.
Locks, let's go.
The world meets nobody halfway. Remember that.
I don't have a father, sir.
The world has always bet against Lincoln Hawks.
This guy's nothing.
Why'd you leave us?
It won't happen again.
I want my grandson found. I don't care how you do it. Do it.
But a winner never listens to the odds.
Whatever happens, I want you to stay with him.
Where'd we end up?
Together is all I can guarantee.
You ain't got a prayer in Vegas.
You never had anything, so you have nothing to lose.
All I want to do is hurt him, cripple him, get him off the table.
All I care about is you. You're my boy. You understand?
The world beats nobody halfway. Now is the time to do for yourself.
I want you.
Over the top, Dad! Over the top!
Sylvester Stallone, Over the Top.
Sterling Silverman won the Oscar-winning screenplay for 1967's In the Heat of the Night. As well as The Towering Inferno, The Poseidon Adventure, Village of the Damned, Telephone, Enforcer, Shaft in Africa, and more than 700 hours of primetime TV. He was also a close friend and student of Bruce Lee, who he featured in the movie Marlowe and 4 episodes of the series Longstreet. They also worked together on a script called The Silent Flute, which eventually became Circle of Iron. Amazing credits, right? Somehow, someway, he eventually found himself working with Sly Stallone to write a screenplay for the movie that would take arm wrestling from the bar to the mainstream. And who was ready to direct? None other than Canon Group co-owner Menahem Golan, the director of Delta Force, Enter the Ninja, and The Apple. Lincoln Hawk is a man trying to rebuild his life. While he does that, he's driving a truck and he's arm wrestling. His ex-wife Christina, Susan Blakely from My Mom's a Werewolf and the Concorde Airport 79, wants him to bond with their son Michael, David Mendenhall from Space Rookies, Space Raiders, Streets, and the 12-year-old drug dealer in the Different Strokes episode where Nancy Reagan shows up.
Look, what kind of pills do you want? I don't have a lot of time. I gotta go to the bathroom. What kind of pills do you have?
Because she knows that she's dying. Michael's been in military school and calls everyone sir. His grandfather, Jason Cutler, hates Hawk and never wanted him in their family, and he's played by Robert Loggia, and he's great.
Try some new Minute Maid Orange Tangerine. It's got calcium.
Then I'm not drinking it.
Oh, no, it's sweet. You'll like it.
I don't believe you.
Well, then who would you believe?
I don't know, Robert Loggia. Whoa, Robert Loggia.
Billy, your mother's right. A Minute Maid orange tangerine tastes great. It's got as much calcium as milk.
If you say so, Mr. Loggia.
Yeah.
This is great.
Enjoy your breakfast.
New Minute Maid Orange Tangerine with calcium.
Yeah.
On the way from Colorado to California, Michael comes to love his father, who teaches him, yes, how to arm wrestle, but also how to be a man. Yet when they get to the hospital, Christina's already dead. Michael blames his father for not getting them there in time, and he goes back to live with his grandfather. Hawk tries to break free, but gets arrested. If the mansion that Cutler lives in looks familiar, it's the home of the Beverly Hillbillies. Michael visits his father in jail, informing him that he will stay with his grandfather. So our hero leaves to compete in the World Arm Wrestling Championship in Las Vegas with a prize of $100,000 and a brand new, larger semi-truck. He then makes a desperate bid by selling his truck and placing a $7,000 bet on himself. Bet on yourself, Sly, or Lincoln Hawk, at 20 to 1 odds to win it all. Then Michael finds the letters that everyone has kept from him. Hawk has been writing to him for years. Hawk advances to the final 8, but suffers his first loss in the double elimination tournament and hurts his arm. Cutler summons our hero and tells him he's always been a loser, but he'll give him $500,000 and a better truck as his prize if he leaves him alone forever. Hawk refuses and makes it to the finals, taking on his rival, the undefeated Bull Hurley. His son finds him, gives him the emotional energy he needs to survive, just as Hawk doesn't only beat Bull, but gains the man's respect. Somehow, Cutler gets over 10 years of being a complete jerk and is happy about Michael and Hawk getting back together, because this is an 80s movie. And oh yeah, the guys get so sweaty in the final battle, they have to yell to get the strap, which people go nuts for. You'll be yelling, get the strap all the time too.
Now when the two arms come apart, that means the strap is going to be put on. Here comes the strap.
Arm off, boy. Get your mind out.
I own you!
Go bring them fingers down.
Open your belt. Michael! We're going home as soon as this is over.
Dad, come on!
Ladies and gentlemen, now they're locked right to the finish of the match.
Finals of this film were shot in an actual tournament that Canada ran in conjunction with the film. Starting in Beverly Hills, the year-long competition had events throughout North America, as well as Europe, Israel, and Japan. The finale at the Las Vegas Hilton is the actual crowd, and the B-roll footage of matches. It's in the movie. The footage of Michael Picot breaking his elbow, that's real. If you're into pro wrestling, there's a lot of folks in here. Terry Funk, Reggie Bennett, Scott Norton, Ox Baker, who's in Escape from New York, as well as Mandy Fernandez and the Barbarian were also almost made it into this movie. There are also lots of pro arm wrestlers like Alan Fisher, Jean Reland, Andrew Cobra Rhodes, John Bresnak, who inspired the story, and Cleve Dean. The music is astounding. You got Kenny Loggins singing Meet Me Halfway, some Giorgio Moroder, some Asia, some Robin Zander, some Eddie Money, some Sammy Hagar, which became the music video to promote the film. Those jerks at the Golden Raspberry Awards gave this 3 nominations. David Mendenhall won 2 for Worst Supporting Actor and Worst New Star. Isn't that kind of crappy to make fun of a kid like that? Stallone was nominated for Worst Actor, an award he's won 4 times, but lost to Bill Cosby in Leonard Part 6. Stallone has claimed if he directed this, he would have changed the setting to an urban environment, used scored music instead of rock songs, and made the Las Vegas finale more ominous. So why was he in it? He answered, Menahem Golan kept offering me more and more money, until I finally thought, what the hell? No one will see it. Let's commit to the bit. Let's do that as Sly. You ready? Well, Menahem Golan kept giving me more and more money until I finally thought, what the hell? No one will see it. Keep punching. Speaking of Sterling Silliphant, he only did the screenplay. Actor-writer Gary Conway from The Farmer and American Ninja 2: The Confrontation, and director-writer David Engelbach, who did America 3000 and wrote Death Wish 2, created the original story. Engelbach cried when he saw the finished movie, remarking that the finished draft wasn't nearly as dumb as the final film, and it's more about truck driving and arm wrestling than it should have been. When this film came out, I could not wait for it. There was an entire line of toys that had knobs on their backs that allowed them to arm wrestle, and even better, a competition table. My brother and I begged our parents every day for it for 6 months, but our mother just told us, just use a table. She had no vision. At this point, I could have had a father-in-law that hates me, a bedridden ex-wife, and a son who doesn't know me, but I could flash anyone and put their arm down in no time, so get the strap.
Sorry for the interruption, valued listener. This is noted and sadly deceased Italian voiceover actress Carolyn de Fonseca. You may think that you've just heard really rough man-on-man lovemaking. No, I can assure you there's nothing homoerotic about 2 men holding hands and sweating all over one another and grunting in each other's faces. And now, back to the show.
Even more magical, at least to me, 50 miles from the filming this movie, Sergio Martino had assembled an Italian-American crew to make Hands of Steel, the only road warrior by way of the Terminator truck driving movie that also has arm wrestling in it. I believe that the crew of that movie saw that Over the Top was shooting and said, all American movies are going to be about arm wrestling next summer. Let's get ahead of it. Is that a coincidence? Well, do you know anything about Italian cinema, my friend?
¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo se llama? Why did I take French?
He's 16, loves computers and sophisticated toys. Starts an adventurous journey in order to find his mother. She's a scientist. She loves spiders, perhaps too much. But is she surprised when her son appears? She's 15, born in the country. Her mother was an Indio. Everything was fine before a klutz with green eyes fell on her from the sky.
It's a treasure map.
Her father is an old hippie. He hates violence, but reality steps in.
Besides, what else would take his son away from his mother except another woman?
Oh my God, look at that! But that backpack is possessed!
Well, what's the matter with my son?
Can I get a last request?
There seems to be a slight problem.
Watch it! Watch it! Chased by ruthless killers, they have to fight to survive. Then, they make an incredible discovery.
As of the time of writing this, one person has written a user review and a critic review on IMDb of Cannon's The Secret of the Ice Cave from 1989. I have joined them, making this the smallest fan club of a movie that no one else wants or needs to watch. Who was looking for Michael Moriarty and Sally Kellerman to explore an ice cave? Me. Made by Romanian director Radu Gabrea, not the Radu from Subspecies, and writer Mike Werb, who are going to make Darkman 3, Die Darkman Die, Face Off, The Mask, and Food of the Gods 2. I got excited. The movie is essential for those of us who have a David Mendenhall fetish. Two David Mendenhall. This is going to be a whole episode of David Mendenhall movies. I've decided. So if you've already done a marathon of the films of Virgil Fry and need something to pair with Revenge of the Ninja Up from the Depths, this is good. Mendenhall plays Alex Ostro, whose mother Valerie, Sally Kellerman, is a scientist looking for a rare Chilean spider. They're soon joined by Manny Wise, Michael Moriarty, and his daughter Ona, Marcia Christie, on the hunt for the cave of that spider. They're pursued by Valerie's husband Victor Talbot, Norman Weiser, as underling Frank Hagen, Virgil Fry. At one point, Alex has to fix a TV for a tribe of cannibals so fierce they cut off their victim's manhood and shove it down their throat. He gets I Love Lucy there, but they've seen it before, and they get angry. This is a movie for kids. It's PG-13, but it is set up as a family movie, and it has the threat of castration in it. Canon forever. Finally, yes, all David Mendenhall this week. Going Bananas from 1987.
Africa, land of mystery, beauty, and tourism. It's Dom DeLuise and Jimmy Walker.
Exactly how dangerous is this place?
On the wildest safari ever to hit the jungle.
This is not Disneyland we go to.
Oh, My African Adventure. Two Americans and their guides go deep into the bushland on a cultural extravaganza.
Are you sure this man is a dentist?
No. He's a qualified doctor.
I demand Novocaine!
Oh! And make a startling discovery.
I think he understands everything we say.
Banana.
It is a clever little monkey.
Which turns their holiday pleasure
Anything from the bar.
Fully poussé. Well chilled.
into monkey business.
This talking monkey is the 8th wonder of the world.
All right.
Dom DeLuise, Jimmy Walker, David Mendenhall, Herbert Lom, and Bonzo.
Bonzo?
Yeah, I named him Bonzo.
Give me a break.
In My African Adventure, everything a vacation
I'm gonna miss you.
was never meant to be.
You've got to cut down on the bananas.
Boy, this movie sure had a lot of changes. Bonzo, the star of it, was going to be played by a real ape. And Clyde the orangutan from Every Which Way But Loose and Any Which Way You Can had a meeting with Menahem Golan, and there was an attempt to sign him to a Cannon contract. It would be in multiple Cannon movies. It fell through. Golan introduced Deep Roy to the director, Boaz Davidson, and said, "Meet your new monkey." The story sounds like it isn't true, but it's canon in a Menahem Golan story, so I'm going to say it's true. According to Electric Boogaloo, Golan asked Clyde's publicist, "Would you fuck this monkey?" Man, canon forever. Deep Roy was cast, and Big Bad Joe Hopkins was going to be played by Bud Spencer. On the 1986 canon of upcoming films, this was called Ben, Bonzo, and Big Bad Joe. And Menahem Golan, who wrote the script based on the Kufako books by Tamara Bornstein-Lazar, and Sam Furstenberg going direct until Boaz Davidson was picked. And what emerges is 100% pure canon. Benjamin is David Mendenhall, who, if he annoyed you and over the top, he's going to destroy your mind and play with it in this one. He's on an adventure with his guardian Joe, who is Dom DeLuise, and their friend Mazombo, Jimmy Walker in Africa, in Mambo Zombaland, a place that Does it exist? There they meet Bonzo, talking monkey who can not only fly a plane, but can't practically fly. Or if we follow the old TSR Marvel superhero rules, he's like the Hulk who was a class 500 hyperleaping. I didn't get laid that often as a teenager.
Carolyn again. We'll get back to the show in a second, but I wanted to correct an oversight. Sam just said, not often. And what he meant to say was never, unless you count watching Emmanuel and the Cannibals on Cinemax after dark getting laid. And it's not. Now back to the podcast, already in progress.
And this whole story is about Herbert Lom as a cop stealing the monkey and putting him in a circus, and that never works out. Whether it's King Kong or Conquest of the Planet of the Apes or Going Bananas. A lot of people debate what's your favorite canon movie. No one has picked this movie, and it's for a reason. This is a rough watch. Is it the hardest canon movie to watch? You know what? Let's break from the David Mendelsohn and let's talk about one other canon movie. Probably one of the strangest. And that's saying something. Too Much came out in 1987, a year in which I estimate the canon released 33 movies. Almost a new movie every week.
Hello, everyone. This is Bob from House by the Cemetery and the End of Demons. Is that a spoiler? Here are the movies canon released in 1987. Young Love, $1 Million Madness, Dutch Treat, Assassination, The Armor of God, Alan Quatermain, and the Lost City of Gold, The Assault, Over the Top. Come on, Dad, you can do it. I'm better than David Mendenhall. Right, Mommy? Also, they put out number 1 with a bullet. The Barbarians, Down Twisted, Street Smart, The Hanoi Hilton, Beauty and the Beast, Rumpelstiltskin, American Ninja 2, The Confrontation, Diary of a Mad Old Man, Master of Dragonard Hill, The Emperor's New Clothes, Three Kinds of Heat, Sleeping Beauty, Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, Masters of the Universe, Penitentiary 3, King Lear, Tough Guys Don't Dance. Oh man, oh God, oh man, oh God, oh man, oh God, oh man, oh God, oh man, oh God. The Kitchen Toto, Dancers, Surrender, Barfly, Business as Usual, Death Wish 4, The Crackdown, and Undercover, all in 1987. Now I have to get back to running away from Dr. Freudstein. Thanks, Sam.
Susie's played by Brigitte Anderson, who was Savannah in Savannah Smiles, was also in the 83 version of Nightmares, and played a young Mae West in the TV movie Her Life. Sadly, Brigitte died at the age of 21 from mixing alcohol and heroin. Way to bring the podcast down. And her parents are in Japan to visit her father's business partner Tetsuro, who is Akira Ishimuro from Ultraman Gaia. Tetsuro creates a robot for her that she names Too Much because he's too much. You remember Max Steel's RoboForce? Those big suction cup robots that came out right before Transformers and looked like antiques as they warmed the pegs? Well, Too Much makes them look like sleek Hajime Zoriyama illustrations by comparison. For some reason, a man named Dr. Finkel wants the robot. Obviously, there have to be better ones like Johnny 5, but no, that won't do. So when Susie runs away with Too Much, or TM, and a Japanese kid named Mata, he hunts for her. And Japanese cops are wild because they open fire on the robot at one point, even when he's surrounded by gas pumps. Canon being canon, this was directed by Eric Rochot, probably best known for making multiple adaptations of The Story of O. This is a kid's movie. They put the man that made The Story of O in charge of a kid movie that by all accounts never played in the US and had a very limited VHS release. So let me spoil the end of this movie for you, and maybe save you from it, or maybe make you want to watch it. Susie, Mata, and TM end up hiding in a department store that just so happens to be having a robot fair. Everything turns into a robot uprising where cute remote-controlled toys battle the police. I'm all for that. And the cops use cattle prods to kill the cute toys until a couple hundred kids in t-shirts that say, I love TM. How did they have time to make these shirts? This is very much a Yeti giant of the 20th century or New York Ninja marketing moment where suddenly these kids have these shirts. But whatever. These kids make these shirts. They swarm the assembled mad scientist henchmen and the police. They raise a flag over the store and the evil doctor electrocutes himself as our female protagonist walks away smiling and loving her white privilege. Now, I wrote that and I got a letter that came in that said, wouldn't want to ruin a review by throwing a racist comment at the end and impugning a child in the process, one who took their privilege to an early death. Last time I click on a review for this site from IMDb, hope you don't listen to the podcast either, asshole. My friend Roger said I saw this piece of crap in a theater in America. I sucked. Okay. And someone asked, who is the actor that played the bad guy, Dr. Finkel? All the online search I've read said it was an actress named Char Fontaine. Is that true? Well, I checked in with the amazing and awesome Austin Trunick of the Canon Film Guide, and he told me Dr. Finkel is definitely a miscredit online. The press kit has him down as Char Fontana, and after further poking around, I believe it may be the Charlie Fontana, whose only IMDb credits are a Japanese film and some voiceover work on a Mega Man game. I can only find one headshot, but it kind of looks like him minus a beard plus 20 years, give or take the VHS transfer of Too Much I'm working from. But based on clips on YouTube of his Mega Man character, it sounds a lot like the same guy. But considering it was canon, I'm sure they would have hired some local actors for those non-Brigitte Anderson roles, so that would make sense to me. Well, there you go. There's 4 canon movies, and it's not all Charles Bronson movies, and well, it is Sly Stallone movies too. It's not all ninjas and Charles Bronson movies. Sometimes canon will take you down some dark paths. As Canon Month continues, we'll have another mystery episode. If you have a canon movie you'd like me to feature, come be my best friend. Send me an email at bnsaboutmovies@gmail.com. Come to the site, Canon Movies on Month, and we're getting into the companies that were related to Canon. Canon eventually kicked Menahem Golan out. How do you get kicked out of a company you own? The 80s. And he started 21st Century. So we're getting into 21st Century films right now and the movies they released. There's a lot going on there. You can also donate to Ko-fi there, and you can pay for an episode, and I will do an episode just for you. It's cheap. A couple bucks. I'm a whore. I'll do it cheap. I'm on the street corners doing podcasts about canon movies or Dimension Films or stuff NPM put out. Anyway, thanks so much for listening. It means the world. And hey, you know what would be great? Just give it a review. I only have two or three reviews, and it would make me feel great if you did a review, as Rodney Dangerfield would say.
That's about it. I'm at the end of the line. Like everyone else in this thing called showbiz, I like applause, but I'll tell you, there's something to me that's more important than applause. May mean nothing to you, but a lot to me. It's just when I walk off, if you'd all just give me one of these. I mean, I see other guys, they got a lot of these. I never get one of these. Not right now, on the way out. I'm always hanging around, a little quickie, it don't mean nothing, you know what I mean? Because I'm the kind of guy, tomorrow you say to yourself, hey, that guy last night was all right. I should have given him one of these, you know? Even if you're not sure, you give me one of these, you can always take it right back, it don't mean nothing.